This is nuts. Canadian municipality now requires a QR code to enter or leave.
Magdalen Island getting QR codes in order to leave. And if you don't get your QR code, you will be fined. Guess what, guys? That's the very first QR code prison here in Canada. And it is going to sweep the nation faster than you can think if people don't stand up and take a stand against these QR codes. It's not happening in your town yet, but it most certainly will be. We know the government's expropriating land from farmers all over the place. We know that they are trying to make military presence a normality. So it's only a matter of time before you are trading away your information, your private information in a QR code in order to leave your town or city so that you can go to work, shop, get an education, or just plain out visit and travel this amazing country.
Yeah, it's disturbing. In fact, let's take a closer look. Planning a summer trip to Quebec's Magdalen Islands, you'll have to pay up. Mayor says fee is necessary because tourists are burdening services, straining revenue. Tens of thousands of visitors flock to Quebec's Magdalen Islands every summer to behold its cliff-framed seascapes and sandy beaches. But starting next month, those island sojourns will come with an added cost. The small archipelago northeast of Prince Edward Island is introducing a $30 visitor fee to raise funds for tourist infrastructure, environmental protection, and waste management. Called the Pass Archipel, the new fee will be mandatory for domestic and international travelers who stay on the islands for more than 24 hours between May 1st and October 14th. Individuals who fail to comply will risk a $1,000 fine. Now, this is directly in violation of the Charter, Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which guarantees movement. So I don't know how they're getting away with this. Let's see. Valiquette insists the pass does not constitute a barrier to accessing or leaving the islands, but the fee nevertheless has some islanders concerned it will infringe on the freedom of Quebecers and other Canadians to travel within their own country. Of course it will. This, feels like a test, like pilot program, really, doesn't it? I think it's outrageous to ask someone to identify themselves in order to get out of their own town. In an interview, Thériault said she considers the fee especially unfair because it will charge mainland Quebecers for using public resources partially financed by the provincial government, such as roads. Quote, so we end up charging Quebecers for visiting their own infrastructure, which they pay for with their own taxes. Quote, there is really an obstacle to my freedom of movement. This is a former Magdalen Islands town councillor saying this. It's the first time in my life that this is happening to me, and I find it nonsensical. So, it's little bits of creeping authoritarianism, isn't it? It's little bits of creeping restriction on everything, on speech, on movement. Canada's Trudeau, his plan is for, to get rid of gas cars, right? Tell you what kind of transportation you can even use. Of course, Trudeau famously had the vaccine mandates for travel on trains and planes in Canada. Again, against the Charter. Not supposed to be able to do that. It's just this creeping authoritarianism, isn't it? Somebody might see that and go, oh, well, they have a point. They're an island and, they're overburdened by tourists. So what? So what? You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be able to restrict people's movement in their own fucking country. It's just the same bullshit. Why would we trust any of this? Honestly. Rogue Thought says, of course, a nice remote island to test this on. Disgusting. Now, I don't find it surprising that, a town council would have a bad idea, or that they would try and capitalize on swarms of tourists every year either. But really, the federal government should have something to say about this, shouldn't they? It is their job to protect, the Charter rights and freedoms. But it's a Trudeau government. So, of course, there's nothing they love more than taking away people's rights. And I'm sure they would look at this and go, oh, well, this is a great idea. Maybe we can do this in every single city and town, every neighborhood in Canada. Just imagine how much money we could extract from the public while we're also controlling their movements. And controlling people is the highest virtue of a far leftist. So, of course, they would love something like this.